course, you're watching me from, so that's why I always start with good morning, good afternoon, good day, evening, and then good night. Luzze Andrew Anderson is my name, and still again back. Yesterday we were not here. I was getting busy, kids are getting back to school, so I had to prepare my son, for the big day. So of course he's going to be going back to school on. He's going back to school on Tuesday. Good night. Yeah. Okay, my sound is good. So he's going to go back to school on Tuesday. Yes, but today's topic, of course, this is it here. This is it here. This is it here. This is it, being a single dad. Yeah. Most of the people, of course, when it comes to being single mothers, that is very common. Yeah, single mothers are very common, but single dads, are very rare. Yeah, very very rare, very rare. They are not out of 100%. You can find single dedicated dads. Single dedicated dads. They could be like out of 100. I think like 5%, you can imagine, and that is globally 5% of single dads. So today I'm going to be giving you my experience of being a single dad. Today I'm going to be giving you that experience, and of course it's a beautiful one. It is a beautiful one, so I want to share my story with you. I've been with my son since he was like one. Yeah, since he was like one. But of course I've been in the entire process. When he was coming out of the mom's womb, I was there. I was watching. Few guys, of course, in Africa can go ahead to see their kid come out. So I have almost every video. So I'm going to be giving you that experience of me being a single dad. Of course, at at the age of I think it was like 33. Yeah, the age of 33. Of course, then I'm a dedicated. For some reason, I even quit my job to be with my son completely. I quit my job to be with my son completely. I'm always with him from morning to evening. From morning to evening. I've never missed a day with him unless he's gone, for holidays or something, but I'm always with my son. But for starters, as we are going to be starting off, I want to thank my new subscribers. Yes, I want to thank my new subscribers. Of course, we are letting, because we changed from politics and then we changed to lifestyle. So I think I got a couple of subscribers from Tanzania. Yes, Tanzania, bigger Tanzania. Then I got some from Rwanda. Yeah, bigger. Then I got some from Kenya. Yeah. Then of course we got a couple of them from the UK. Yeah. So in case you're watching from out of Uganda, I want to say bigger, because when we started off, it was more of our content. Then we changed to this lifestyle, because now the topics we are always talking about, these cut across, yeah, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in South Africa, whether you're in Botswana. These are the stories, yeah. And I also want to thank the people who always watch after, yeah, people who always watch after the live is done, because now we are live. And of course the topic is being a single dad, and I've loved the entire journey. As I told you initially, that if in case you go and do research, you'll notice that dedicated single dads, there are very few across the globe. There are very few dedicated. Me, I gave out almost everything, say it parties, for some reasons. I even quit. I used to be taking, I used to be drinking. So for some reasons, I stopped drinking. So I'm going to be giving you this experience. Most of the people get scared, yeah? Now, let the story begin. As I told you, Luzze Andrew Anderson is my name. And of course, for all the people watching in out of Uganda, I want to say thank you very much. As I told you initially, that it was from politics, now we came into human interest. And when that happened, most of the people started going away. They started unsubscribing, which is okay, because I want to have a few people who really understand, people who really want to learn something in life. So those who went, thank you, because we want to stay with those people who are dedicated. I'd rather have 50 people that I know I can rely on and they can rely on me, than having 1,000 of them, because we are having like over 200,000 people. But what is the use of all of them in case we cannot impact each other? You'd rather have a few, but you can impact each other. That's why I put up my WhatsApp number there, that anytime, yeah, anytime you want to chat, we can always chat, we can always have conversation. That's why I put it up there. So I want a few that we can always relate to. Yeah. And at some time, of course, when all goes well, we'll be having phone calls, we'll be able to come through, and then we have this chat. So let me tell you my experience, because I've been a single dad now, like for like 2.5 years. Yes, being a single dad like for 2.5 years. When my son came to life, this life, yeah, when he came to this life, I think I was the happiest. But initially it scared me, when he was still in the womb. It scared me, then you're supposed to think, what are you going to feed them, the mom and then the son, where are they going to live, in case my son gets sick, what am I supposed to do? It all scared me, and it scared me a lot. Really, every man, the first time, the lady tells you that she's pregnant, you get scared. This story, most of the people don't want to say out their story. Now with me, it took me time to think really carefully, to be like, can I say my experience? But for some reason, the people who watch me, I am dedicated to you. That's why, I can say my story. There are things I would tell you, and I would not even tell my close friend. I could not even tell my sisters. I cannot tell them. But when I come here, I can talk about almost anything, because now you're dedicated and we are friends. So that's why, I can talk about anything. So my experience being a single dad, and of course, thanks for the people who watch, when the lives are done. So my story being a single dad, as I told you initially, that when the kid is coming, more so if you're the first time being a dad, or it's your first time being a mom, it scares everyone. You could find even married people, when the lady says I'm pregnant, there are few people who are not scared when they are used. But if it's your first time being a dad, being a mom, like me as I was, it scared me a lot. I was super, super scared. But later I started getting used. So this is my story. So when he came through, when you see him, I was excited. I have those videos. I was excited. I was super, super happy. I was happy when he came through, and because initially we did not go for sex test to see whether it's a boy or a girl, because I didn't mind. I was like, whatever God gives me, I would go with that. Whatever God gives me, whether it's a girl, whether it's a boy, I was okay with it. I was okay with it. So that I suggested that we do not go for sex test, to see whether it's a girl or a boy. So it came out, it was a boy. But of course, my instincts, yeah, and my intuition were like, he's supposed to be a boy. So he came out a boy. I was happy. I was like, I want him to be just like me. So we were there. Then my first time now being a single dad, for some reasons I decided to be the one keeping, the kid. So when they brought him, I knew I was supposed to be with him. So he came through. When he came through, he could say those words. He could say mommy, daddy. He was perfect at those, only those. So when I started with staying with him, I was still again alone, just like now, 2.5 years later. So now he comes through, and then I felt confused. I felt like I would not take good care of him. I thought I would not take good care of him. So what I did was I tried to get maids, yeah, a maid. But before I got a maid, I first got a house help, yeah, a house help who was a boy, he was a young boy. So he came through. He didn't know how to clean the house. I was better than him, yet he had come to help me. But I was better than him at cleaning the house. I was better than him in making food. I could make more better food for my son more than him. Basically, I was perfect at everything more than him, yet he had come to be helping out. So things didn't work out. I was like, no, 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 no. You cannot. He was doing more harm than good. He could darten the place even more than me and my son. So I was like, no. So well, like he should leave. So he left. When he left, then I got another one. This was a female to come and be helping her. When he came through, still it was the same thing. She wasn't really that good. So again, I got a third one. So now there were three of them. I had got now like 3 house helps. Yeah. So having 3 house helps, I felt like again they were not doing it like the way I really wanted it. So Eventually I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to handle it. Now that's when the real movie started off. So I knew we were supposed to move now on schedule. Like if we wake up early in the morning, I would like before the day, I would have already made porridge. I made sure I could buy everything. Yeah, I could stock everything, our food, everything we're supposed to be eating, put it together. So I could make porridge, put a little bit of milk there, then keep it somewhere. But because I was scared that, you could wake up one day and, maybe you don't have food, you don't have milk, you don't have porridge. So what I did, for the people who are just joining, I think I should leave this title up there so that you could know what we're talking about. So what I could do, I could buy everything we need to use in the house. So I knew milk would be a problem. So I could buy like a box of milk, those pints. I could buy like many of them. Then I could buy lots of food. If it's Irish, I could buy like a sack of it. Then I could buy a lot of rice. I could buy like everything I could buy in plenty, so that I don't want any day for him to wake up and he's like, Daddy, I want to eat food, and I don't have what to give him. So I could buy in plenty. So in case we are going to bed, I could make let me say porridge for the next day. I could make it today, put it in a flask, then keep it. In the morning when he wakes up, then we have, of course, he has porridge. He has to take porridge. Me, I don't take breakfast, so I could give him breakfast. Then he eats. Then I could make sure, clothes. I made sure, because now I'm a single dad, I could make sure he gets lots of clothes, that if this one gets dirty, before he can repeat it, of course it can take some time. So I could spend a month, yeah, without washing clothes. Because now one of the things that really gave me hard time was, what even up to now, the thing that really gives me hard time is washing clothes. But now, for the people who watched my video, the one you come on the channel PCM, the one you first watch, of course now I got a solution for that. So washing clothes was a little bit tricky. So what I could do, I have my friends, maybe neighbors or friends, who could come through at the end of the month. My end of the month ends on the 23rd, 24th, 21st. Yeah, that is my end of month. So they could come through, help me wash. But each time I could be with him, like because now it's just the two of us. The other times he could be playing, and he's playing alone in the compound. I used to be with, in the same gate with other people. So sometimes I could see him play alone, and it could make me feel bad. And I was like, I wish you could get maybe a brother or sister. But because of that experience of us being the two of us, me and my son, I started developing something. I was like, what if, in case I got another girl, yeah, if I got a girlfriend, or if I got married, I noticed maybe this person would not treat him the way I want to treat him, yeah. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay away from women. I will be alone, because now I had learned to do things. I could make his bed. Now sleeping was one of the trickiest things, because he loves sleeping with me in my bed. So I was like, no, he has to be independent. So I bought another bed. So I made sure, when I bought another bed for him, for the kids, but of course big, that I could also sleep in it. It was big. So I could put it the other side, but we could sleep in the same room. I could put it the other side, then me, I sleep this side. But sometimes he could roll over. He rolled over because when he's sleeping, I don't know, for the girls, I think you know this, who've been with your kids. When these kids sleep, they keep rolling over. They keep rolling over until they feel you. And when they feel you, they could put their, like, because now with him, even up to now, he still does that. He can put his legs on me, then put his hands on me, and basically I'm like a pillow, yeah. So now when I got the bed, a different bed for him, he could keep flipping and flipping, and he's not feeling me, and he forgot that he was sleeping alone, and he fell off. He fell off the bed. The good thing, it was really down. So I was like, I'm going to stay with him until I think now, he can handle it. So we started staying together. Most of the people could not believe, but what I noticed being with these kids, initially, everything scares in life. I keep telling you, everything scares in life. If you're going to do something for the first time, it scares, yeah. Because like me, it scared me being with my son, and it's just the two of us. It really scared me. But later I got used. Right now, I'm used that I don't even mind it. The only thing which is different is that I always create, because now he doesn't have other kids now, like the place where we stay. He doesn't have like other kids, to go play with. So I have to always create time, and it is just the two of us. So sometimes we can go road drive. For the people who have been following, you've seen him when he's driving his toy big car. Of course, we go in the road. Yeah, we go in the road, and then he drives as I also have my bike. So one thing I've learned is I create, we spend much time together, and I love it because these are the moments that in case you miss at the parent, you will never get. And most of the guys, the guy parents, the fathers, they always miss out at these moments. And I feel excited, I feel complete that I decided to be with my son. Like, we share almost everything. Sometimes when I'm talking to him, some people might think I'm with another mature person, yet I'm with a 3-year-old just making 4 years. And now everything that now when it comes to cooking, already the beauty is I had grown up with my sister, so I could see them cook. I never used to cook, but I could see them cook. And sometimes if I want to make a meal and I'm not good at it, then what I do, I call my sister and I'm like, this, how am I supposed to do this? Then she tells me, if you're going to make chicken, you're supposed to do like this. And she makes, the good thing, she makes she has a YouTube channel where she makes food. So sometimes if I want to make food, I go through her videos and then I see how they make some food, and I can make them. So the other thing that really got me scared, the other thing that really got me scared was in case he gets sick. Now thank God, that now me, I don't get sick. I really don't get sick. Like, I can spend 2, 3, 4 years minus getting sick. So I know, and I prayed, and I was like, I just prayed this kid is just like me, but he doesn't get sick. Thanks. Now, the time we've been with him, he's never been on medication of real sickness, away from like circumcision. Those are normal. But like, he has gotten malaria, or he has gotten typhoid, any of those diseases, he has never gotten sick of such kind of diseases. So I've not gotten a hurdle, but initially, because I was scared, I felt like getting maybe a medical insurance just in case he gets sick. Then at some point I thought maybe when he's doing school, I might fail to get school fees or tuition. So I felt like maybe I could go pay for all the years, like the time in case I make some money or I get some money. I feel like I want to do everything, like if I'm to pay fees, I want to pay like for 3 years, 4 years, because it kept scaring me, not until I got used. But one thing I've learned is, when you decide to be a dedicated, now me, because there are single fathers who are not dedicated and they have house helps, maybe the kid stays somewhere. My kid has never stayed, let me say, at my relative's place because I'm busy. It has never happened in all those 3 years. It has never happened. I'm always with him. Now I cut off some of the things. Now when I make food, of course it's easy. So one thing I got used of, because when I used to be alone, I could make there are days I could stay for a week minus cooking. I could cook once or twice. What I could do, I could buy sometimes food. And now my son is not the kind that would go eat out. Junk food, he's not good at junk food. He wants real food. So now even me, it helped me in one way or the other, that even when I feel like I don't want to eat or I don't want to cook, he forces me, because I know he's a young kid. He's supposed to grow, and they grow because they eat. So at the end of the day, I end up, cooking food almost every day. Each time I've been with him, we have to cook food. We have to cook food. Why? Because he has to grow. So now I got used with that. Then washing. Now that I'm very far, that I don't have neighbors or someone who would come to help. So we got a washing machine. So now that was solved. We still sleep together in the bed. We still sleep together in the bed. But I've learned most of these things. Now when he's going to school, I make sure, we prepare the day before. We prepare the day before. Then, his uniform is supposed to be clean. I initially had done even a channel. I had done a channel where I could show his how we do it. Now that this is dedicated, that we'll be sharing more of us and how these things happen, and more so me and my son, it has been really going on well, that now I feel like he's part of me. He's part of me in a way that in case he goes somewhere, I feel like uncomfortable because now even when I don't have someone to talk to, we can talk to, I talk to him like a mature person. I do videos, so most of the time when I have my tripod and I'm going to record videos, he also puts, he puts his seat and then he puts his tripod and he's pretending to be like me. These kids tend to copy almost everything you do, and I'm happy that given the fact that I'm with him, he has also changed my life like positively. Some of you guys will miss out on this, with your kids when they are growing. I used to drink a lot, and now I don't drink that much. Why? Because I have to be sober for him. I don't want, to miss a minute or a second, minus knowing he's around. But now when you get drunk and you've blacked out, then you can't know what is happening. So I feel like I don't want even to get that. So he has made me sober, he has made me more aware. And when you're a single dad or single mom, there is a way it helps you, like there is a way he motivates me. Like I have to work a little harder, because when he came through, I was like, where will they sleep? So I have to make sure, because he's like your engine, he's like your drive. He keeps pushing you. When you get kids now, you become more straight with your life. Now you're like, you try to eat healthy. The things you did, most of the time you're thinking like, what if something happens, and I miss out on him, or I die? So you're like, let me prepare for him. So he keeps motivating me, even minus saying a word, that now I have to work a little harder. I have to plan. I was like, every time something was on my head, like I have to secure a place for him, I have to buy land, I have to get a house at least where he would live, even if I'm not around. So some of those things people miss out if you don't stay with your kids. I've really learned a lot. And in case someone is to ask, like what are some of the disadvantages of me being with my son, I would say I've not met any so far. I've not met any hurdles, like the only hurdle that I miss sometimes is when I'm recording and then he keeps calling me. That is this Those are tiny, those are small things. But right now he's like part of me, and each time I want to be with him because now he's like part of me. So taking care, even if it's if it's a guy and you're like, I'm going to give you, you stay with your son or your toddler for a day, they feel like, I cannot do that. But your lifestyle changes the more you stay with them, the more you live with them. Things change. You learn how to manage, because now me, most of the times I could work, I work using computers or I'm using my phone. So I made sure I have to also make him occupied. So one of the things I did was to secure a laptop for him, and he knows how to operate it. So now most of the time, like now, I'm here, talking to you, and then he's on his laptop down here on his laptop. So now he's doing his stuff, I'm doing my stuff. So sometimes you could see me pressing, and then he also starts pressing his laptop. So basically, they copy almost everything. And the advantage is that when you're with your kids, and like the way I am, one thing I've noticed is I try to I try to mold him the way I want. Yeah. So there are things like, I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry, please. I need some help. He does those, and that's the kind of a person I want him to be. So, but when such happens, now you always want to protect your space. Really, really, sometimes when it comes to guys, they have a problem that most of the time when the mother leaves, they will always want to get a replacement very fast, because they feel like they cannot take care of these kids. More so if they are 9 to 5 workers, employees. So you have to leave your kid around. Me, I decided, it was just a decision I took, and I'm like, you know what, now I'm going to start working at home because I need to be with my son. So even if an opportunity comes in and I have to leave, I feel like I don't want him to go away from me. I don't want to give him other people to stay with him, because they pick up characters and behaviors you really don't want them to have. So sometimes when you do that and you leave your kid with the neighbors, you leave your kid with house helps, sometimes the person you spend much time with, you basically become them. Yeah, you basically become them. You start doing things that they do. Now with my son and being, the father for the first time, I was like, no, I'm going to prevent that. I'm going to make sure I'm with my son so that I make him what I want, just like how he has changed me. If had I left him be with relatives or someone else, I wouldn't have quit drinking. I wouldn't have quit the parties. I wouldn't, a lot of things. And maybe in between there, when you're moving up and down, you get into accidents. But now this kid keeps me home. I always feel like a brand new person. I feel like I've changed a lot, and it is because of him. So most of the people think, it's a hard thing. Yeah, it is a hard thing. But to me right now, if someone asks me, is it hard? I would say it's not. Sometimes you just have to try, and it's not until you try that you can know that you can do something. Yeah, so now me and my son, being a single dad, I can do that 10 times. At one point I was like, just in case a woman comes in my life and they want to leave at any time, I would let them leave, because now I know how to raise a kid, man. I know how to raise a kid, man. Now he's growing. He's going to start serious school, and I'm there, and I feel really proud. Like I'm making him the person I really want to. But if in case you miss out some of those times can never come back. You can never turn back the clocks of time. It is gone. It is gone. You will never get it. So I always feel proud, and anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. It scares most of the people. Are like, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. But it is not until you try. It's not until you try and you know that you can do it. Now, almost 2.5 years, coming to 3 years, counting, and I'm a proud, certified dad. Though the other thing it can do to you, the negatives, because me, I have what they call self-realization. Now me, I protect my space and his space, that I feel like any other foreign person coming into our lives would mess us. He would mess us up. And I feel like I want to protect that space. So now I started getting the mentality of I don't want to get married. Yeah, I'm getting that mentality, like I don't want to get married again. I feel like I don't want to, I don't want a foreign other person whom we don't know come into our lives, because it's been only us. So that has started developing in me, and it started long way. So now I feel like, no, it has to be me and my son and our space. So anyone coming through, I feel like they would sabotage us. Yeah, they would sabotage us. I feel like it has to be only us, only us. So being a single dad, I have not had really that much time, because I cook. I'm good at cooking. We cook, and for us, we don't eat like in time. Though with him, I try, like in the morning he's supposed to take breakfast, then immediately, because now me, when I talk to my sisters, they were like, kids are supposed to eat every after 6 hours. So now me, what I do, I make sure we have something available every time. Like anytime he's feeling hungry and he wants to eat, at least we've gotten something to eat. You get, every time. And now the trick I did of him, because now this is what I do most of the time. I'm doing videos, or I'm working on some videos, or I'm streaming some video. So I made sure we had to create space that even him, he feels too like he's doing the same thing as me. So I'm like, sometimes there are times when I want to sleep and he doesn't want to sleep, so he'd call me out of bed and he's like, Dad. I'm like, yeah, you come and work, come to studio, come work, because he doesn't want to be alone. So he learned that when I'm seated in front of the computer, I'm working. So he learned that. So I tried to make sure that everything, when I got myself a bike, I had to make sure I get him a bike. And because my bike is a rechargeable bike, even his car is a rechargeable one. So I feel like everything I do, I want to get a copy of his, so that he doesn't feel left out. That when I'm doing my stuff, at least he also has space to be doing his stuff. So as for now, being a single dad, I think I've been, I would rank myself like, I'm in the 90s. Yeah, I'm in 90%, and I've achieved it. And I feel like I started being intentional. Like everything I do, it has to involve my son. So someone wouldn't come and, tell me, let's go out, let's go do this. And I've learned now, I feel like I cannot really accept to have a foreign person come, even if it's to help us with the house chores, because I know how to do everything. I can clean the house, I can cook, I can wash now the clothes, I can take him to school. What is it there to do? I can mentor him. That's the most important thing. Fine, I mentor him, but he also has mentored me, because if it wasn't him, surely I don't know where I would be right now. I would either be dead, I would either be mad, a mad person, I would either be a lot of things. But this kid keeps me in check. Every time I look at him, because it is 24/7 that he's around, I'm always looking at him. So I revise myself. I revise myself. So now it is Ugandan time. It is 9:35. So I made sure most of the time, if I want to do the late night recordings or live stream, I make sure he eats enough. He eats enough, drinks enough, and he's full, really satisfied. And by that, then I give him his laptop. Surely, give him 5 minutes, he would be asleep. Right now, he has dozed off because he has ate and he's full. So now it gives me time. He will not complain. I put him in bed. He will not wake up till morning. And now the only thing he knows, of course, he can wake up if he wants to go do susu. Then he can go, in the toilet and then do his susu. Then flushes. Then goes back to bed. So now he's a young man. He's a young man because now he's not that pampered like being with a mom. He's not, having these two parents that this one says this and then this one says this, and you're having deviating, do's and don'ts. Now with me, there, it has to be one thing, and I'm not confusing him being a young kid. Of course, I have Chigozi Alma. Chigozi Alma, what's up? How are you doing? Chigozi Alma, big deal, yeah? Chigozi Alma, what's up? How are you doing? I thought, yeah. So being a single dad really has helped me a lot. It has really helped me a lot, being a single dad. It has really helped me a lot that he has mentored me. Yeah, now he goes, Alma knows how I used to drink. Now I no longer drink. Why? I have to be sober for my kid. Yeah, parties. I no longer party. I'm a full-time single dad, dedicated 24/7. And I can do that. Sometimes I feel like I can do it a million times. I can be a single dad today, tomorrow, and the next day. So what I always advocate for parents, don't put your kids to relatives or your jaja, or because they are going to grow up not knowing you, and of course you wouldn't understand them because they grew up somewhere different. I have a family. I grew up, as I always tell, that I'm from a family of only girls and I'm the only boy. So what happened was one of her sisters left us and we stayed, with these other people. But when she came through, she was different. Yeah. When you keep displacing kids in different places, they are different. Basically, they will not grow into the people you want them to be. You get, they won't go, but now this one, I'm mentoring him, and science has proven that kids stop growing as per the brains, at age, I think it is 18, yeah, at 18, 21, then their brains are stuck there. The things they learned when they were in the teens, 6, more so from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that is a very dangerous period. Why? Because that is the time when kids adopt things, and those things they pick up, those are the things they go with for the rest of their lives. Yeah. So you wouldn't know why a kid does a given thing. It's because they picked those when they were still kids. So now I was like, no, I'm not going to waste this time with my kid. Let me be with him, that whatever he does, I'll know why he does that. Yeah. And he's not stayed at relatives' places. If it's going for a vacation or holidays and goes to, the mother's place, that is monitored. And when he comes back, he has adopted. My son is a little different. I wouldn't say very different, but he talks. When he finds him, he's like, yo, what's up? How are you? Are you fine? Where are you coming from? And he has that confidence that I build with him. And that starts from when he's a kid. So me being a single dad, for all this time, I don't regret it. I feel like I want to advocate for parents to be with their kids and not let them be with relatives or somewhere else, because they're going to adopt, behavior from the places where they live. You get, yeah? You get? So that's why now When for the people who don't know my TikTok, yeah, that is my TikTok there, Anderson Luzze. When I'm there, I'm always advocating. Parents, be with your kids. Don't keep them. You could be a single dad or a single mom, but you're not a dedicated one. Yeah, you come once a week, you come once or twice a month. These kids, we bring them to life. To we support them, we be with them. Most of the people think it has to be finance, like if you have a lot of money, then you can be with your kids even when you don't have. Yeah, me, I've been jobless for the longest period of time, but I'm always with my son, and guess what, he keeps me in check. Now, as long as I'm here, I'm planning for next year. How is next year going to move? 2027. But when you're alone, basically you're thinking about your private life. But these kids, most of the people miss out on this, and no one will tell them because they are very busy trying to hustle out life. But it is easy, and it starts with you. You create an environment which really allows you to be with your kid. Because if you don't bring them, if you don't stay with your kids, then you will not create that time. You will be busy. You will try to give excuses, but if they told you, you will not leave for the next week in case you don't stay with your kids and you give them full attention. Guess what, you'll be able to do it. Most of my friends, even the ones who are with me, they were like, they could not believe. Even right now, I talked to one of my friends. He's called Wood Better Soldiers. He's in London. And then he was like, Anderson, I can't believe you've been with that kid for this long. Wow. Because he feels it's impossible, but it's really possible. It's not until you do something that you can know that it is really possible. There is nothing impossible, man. If someone else did it, you can do it. And for most of when it comes to the guy parents, yeah, guy parents, I don't know why they are not in the lives of their kids. And now that we are in this 21st century, oh my goodness, kids pick things. Kids pick up behaviors and habits, and you don't know where this all started. You find a boy now acting like a girl acting like a boy, because you never gave them that attention. My kid, today we were moving, I was looking for dog's food somewhere, and my kid met a tuk-tuk, and he knew a tuk-tuk. I was like, but of course I know where he's learned everything, so there is no way he's going to learn things I did not introduce to him. Why? Because I'm with him 24/7. Now that he's going to start school on Tuesday, yeah, he's going to start school on the 10th. Now that will be school. That is the only time, by the way, I spend mine as my son. That is the only time. The rest of the time, it is the two of us. So basically, things I do, he will start adopting. There are the times when I could sit when I'm cross-legged, and before I know it, I look at him and he's also cross-legged. So we started doing some of the things I do, he does, and I'm like, how is this even happening? There are things I do. Sometimes maybe if I'm taking a selfie, there's a way I play with my face. And before you know it, he's also doing the same, and you're like, how comes? Fine, DNA could be there, but it cannot be this strong. So it is very good, to stay with your kids. You make them grow into the people you want. But the more they grow away from you, even if you visit once in a while, they cannot feel you. And I always feel good. I'm like, when he grows up, he'll be like that. Blessing. Yeah, blessing. Because he wouldn't have missed any time. I have not missed any time. I have videos, when it was still, a no-name, because I love videos and doing videos, and that's what I know. I have everything archived. So these things of, it's impossible. There is nothing impossible. Spend time with your kids. By the way, again, as in the middle of the video, I want to thank my new subscribers from Kenya. Yeah, big up from people from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, then some guys, of course, from the UK. Yeah, when we changed the kind of content we do, most of the people left. We have over 118 people left. And I feel good and proud of it, because now those are not the people we need. You rather have a few people who add value on you. Yeah, people you would support each other. That's why I put my WhatsApp number here. Because I want to have a few people I could have a chat with, people we can relate with, people than having a million but no one impacts the other. I don't need that. I need a few that are really dedicated, that we can chat, we can talk. It is very useless. So when they started living, because they were used with politics, I'm okay, because now this is no longer politics. So in case you're watching and you love the politics we used to do in the 2025 7 years we did politics, and you feel like this doesn't really tally with you, leave. Sweet. Then these no people. That's why I feel excited for the people who joined, from the UK, from Kenya, from Tanzania. I was super happy, because now that's why we are using English. Some people are like, no, we should use Luganda. No, now 2026 we need new people. Yeah, we are changing. I left where I used to stay. Now I'm here. I need new stuff. I lost friends when I was, when I started working on my life. And that is how it has to be. Leave them. Start a new journey. When you don't do that, you will stay behind. If you're with your friends you started with when you're still young, that's where you're going to stay. Have you noticed when you had your friends when you were still kids, even when you meet after 5 years, you still talk about stories in childhood, and they forgot that, life moved on. Life moved on. So that's why even on this channel, when people unsubscribe and they leave, I feel good. I'm like, oh, I didn't need that one. I didn't need that one. And when the new one comes in, I feel good. I'm like, now this person can relate with me because of the kind of content that we are doing. I didn't write a script today. I just felt like sharing my story, being a single dad. Fine, I've not shared some pictures, but you go through the videos, you will see. You will see, and at one given point I'll be showing you some videos, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. There's nothing as special as that, I'm telling you. For the people who don't know which topic, of course, we are talking about, is about my experience being a single dad. Since my kid was 1, now he's going to be making 4, and it's been the 2 of us. Never in those years have I ever left my kid with the neighbors, or left my kid with the relatives, or left that I'm going to go for a gig or I'm going to do something. Never. And I'm dedicated 24/7. And now my son will grow up to be like me, because I want him to be like me, but again more better. You get. Even now, the thing he's doing, I never used to do at his age. I never used to. By 3, I could not operate a laptop. I think by 3 I had not even had not touched a laptop. By 2, he was operating his laptop. Now he does things and I'm like, wow, at 3. You get the point. So we'll be sharing different stories, we'll be sharing experiences. But of course, for the new subscribers, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, now 2026 you could also challenge yourself, because as I told you the story, for the people who started with me, I felt like it was impossible. I got house helps, 3 of them, and they were all not up to the standard I really wanted. Now I'm giving the standard to my kid. You get the point. I'm giving him standards. The way I want him to be is what basically I'm investing in him. It's important. It's important. There is nothing that really hurts, like having, even if, let me tell you, it's like having 2 families. For the men who have different families, you have kids from different parents. When they stay with their parents and you reach a time, let me say you have 3 kids with different moms. When they stay at their mom's places, by the time you bring them together, they will be different. They'll be different. For some reason, the place will be chaotic. One of them likes watching a different channel, another one wants to watch a different channel, one wants to eat different food, another one wants to also eat different food. So you see, why? Because where they grew up from, where they grew up from and the people they've been with, you could find that one, they used to eat this, they have different routines. So now you come and you want to put a specific routine, and it's nearly impossible. And if they have grown up and they are like 11, 12, it's now almost impossible. One of them would like to eat from the bedroom, another one would like to eat from the dining, another one would like to always eat from outside. And now you're telling them, guys, come and eat from the dining. And you're wondering, why is it that they cannot pick that we are all supposed to sit on the dining and we eat together as a family? It's because one of them mother could give them food and tell them, you go eat from outside. So now that, they picked it up, So even when they grow, they don't want to, they don't want to eat when other people are around. And then you find the one who grew up in a family where they eat together is like wants that. So now you're wondering, why is my family, why are my kids never get together? It's because they grew up differently. They grew up in different places, so they picked different behaviors and habits. I don't want to do that with my son. I want him to be there. I want him to be there to adopt the things I really want him to adopt. It's a little hard, maybe with the kind of job but you can always adjust. You can always adjust if you love your kids and you brought them to this life and you wish them nice. The environment you put them in, they pick up on that. Now my son could put me on tension and I'm like, where am I going to sleep? Where am I going to stay? In case I don't have rent, what am I supposed to do? All those things, because he was there with me. Had he not been with me, I would have thought that I can go through this and maybe 10 years later I'll be a different person. Now I'm a different person, and in a good way, a better person. I'm a better version of me. I'm a better version of me because I stay with my son, not because I'm a single dad, but because I stay with my son. These things of sleeping around, having one girlfriend and another, now I cannot juggle it. So at the end of the day, I'm kept in check because of him. So it's a beautiful thing. Stay with your kids, and thank God that he's a boy. Stay with them. Because now, before I came here, I had to shower him. I first gave him food. He ate after eating. Then after showering him, I first ate after eating. I showered him. After showering him, I gave him his laptop. Then he was telling me stories. Then I told him I'm going to be making a video. So now he has dozed off, and I'm going to take him to bed. Then I'm going to do another live, of course, on TikTok. Yeah, on TikTok, another video. So don't get scared. There's nothing. If someone else can do it, if I can do it, you can maybe do it. You can even maybe do it better. But the way you keep away your kids from you, they will grow into something you really don't understand. Maybe if you don't care, if you're not care parent, that is cool, because we all make decisions in our life. But me, my first time being a dad, I don't feel I could let my son really go in another place. Some people have told me, Anderson, you can bring the son, he spends time here. I'm like, no, this is my cross to carry, and I have to carry it. So guys, in case you loved my video and you think you've learned something, you can go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification button, so that in case I come live or I upload the video, I'm among the first people to be watching. That's my WhatsApp number in case you want help for social media. Yeah, I'm also here on YouTube. Yeah, we can always chat, we can always have a conversation. So for now, I'm going to be calling it a wrap for today. For the people who are on from when we started to when we've ended, I want to say thank you very much. And for the people who are going to watch this video after it is done and you've watched it the next day, I want to say also thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe, and if you have channel, you can also tell me. I can come and subscribe to your channel. If you are the one, you as a person appear in your videos, then we can make a team. Yeah, we can make a team to support each other. I'm soon going to do that. After like 6 months, we'll create a team and we are together as creators of original content. Yes, we'll be having discussion more so if you're doing something to develop yourself and you're not looking for numbers, because we could decide to do trends, but we're not doing trends. But we could do trends, but we're not doing trends. We are doing videos whereby even after 10 years someone would watch. So until then, I still remain Luzze Andrew Anderson. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, I want to say bless ya. Bless to all the parents who stay with their kids. Bless to all the single mothers. Bless to all the single dads who are 100% dedicated to their kids. Until then, peace ya.